Hey guys, Jared here with Fanboys Forever, and today we're going to be having a close look at the brand new armored Batman figure from the Batman Cape Crusader line from Spin Master. This is a really cool design, and I really like the looks of this guy, so I'm excited to get him out of the package. We see that we have the first edition sticker, kind of a holofoil look up there, the regular little surprise thing that lets you know that the accessories are kind of randomized. We have the standard Batman decorations. And then on the back, we get introduced to the different missions that are in this series, and they are 4 different locations than what we had before. Go ahead and pop open those mystery accessories. And so you know how this works. You just pull this part, it opens this up, and then it breaks some tape at the top. And we have a really cool piece of artwork with Batman fighting King Shark. So that is really nice. And just like any of these, you can pop these out, and it kind of makes a little trading card, and we roll that at the top. And we can add that to our ever-growing collection of Spin Master Batman trading cards. So I really like these things. Great way to give just a little bit of extra value. So let's open those mystery accessories. Love doing this. You never know what you're gonna get. We have kind of a translucent like bat gauntlet thing. It's kind of a weird choice for the wash on there, but yeah, it's interesting looking. Let's get this one open. Oh, we have another green translucent. This time it looks like a kind of turret that plugs into his back, so that's cool. And let's see, I wonder if this last one will be green as well. No, not green. We get kind of a buzzsaw gauntlet. This is interesting looking. And this has kind of a glitter. Yeah, it's a glitter paint job. It's actually pretty cool. You see that? Man, I wish they would do more of them in this stuff. This is cool. All right, let's open them up. And before we have a look at Batman proper, we do get this handy little guide to all the different accessories that you can get. Now, sometimes I think the accessories look a little different than you actually get, but for the most part, this is a pretty accurate guide. So here's just a little look for anybody who might need this as some help. And then we can actually see where we fall on this one. And he was in this location, and sure enough, this Batman did include this stuff, including the glittery little accessory there. We could have gotten this one, kind of a little look at what you could get. And let's start by having a close look at the sculpting work. And this probably has a more intricate sculpt than any of the Batman figures that we've received from Spin Master so far. There's lots and lots of things going on in this compared to just about any of the other Cape Crusader figures. You can see that if we start out at the head, it's very clear that Batman is wearing a helmet. There's kind of like little notches over to the side, and there's actually ridges along the helmet. This really reminds me of the Batman v Superman armor. And it's kind of like a mix of that with the Dark Knight Returns armor where he fought Superman, which I think is appropriate because he comes with the green accessories like kryptonite accessories. We have the chest armor here, and they have really done up the chest armor. It's much more emphasized and dramatic than what we've seen before. The arms have all sorts of little technical bits and have almost like some gears on the side. And the gloves have like a vent, and there's these scallops that are really nice. They're done in a really cool gold, just like the bolts that were on the top of the mask. On the back of the shoulder, we have some more kind of techie bits. Back here behind the cape, we have more of that armor, and this part really reminds me of the Batman v Superman armor. Moving on, we have that on the side. It's totally consistent. We have the belt here, and just a little bit of paint slop here on the belt, just very slightly, to where there's not as much gold on that side as there is this side, but it's very unnoticeable, especially at this scale. You're seeing a super close-up image of something that was never intended to probably be seen that closely. Down here, we kind of have the more plain hips, almost as if he's wearing the standard costume under it. Then we have these plates that are all around the front of the leg, and this is some really cool sculpting. Check this out. It's almost like a handle. It kind of makes it look like an industrial part for the shin guards. And then we have all of this cool sculpting on the sides, almost like he's wearing some kind of braces on his legs to keep them from being broken, or to give him like extra hydraulic kind of jumping power or running power. Although I don't think Batman's going to be running too fast in this thing, you know, just a hunch. We have some bolts. Batman's big giant boots down here with the big platforms. Really love all this detail. And then on the back, we have a little bit more detail there, so a few more pads, and of course the utility belt continues around. Interesting that this part of the utility belt is gray down here and not gold. I actually like that. It's almost like he's got gray pouches on the back. I really think that this might have the best sculpting of any of the Spin Master Batman figures so far, and it isn't because the other ones weren't any good. I just think that this kind of gives them a chance to show off a little bit on what they can actually do when given the opportunity at this scale. I think paint is mostly clean on this one. You do have a little bit of some kind of black outline, not quite matching up around the Bat logo. Like I said, the belt kind of has a little bit of paint slop on the top, but overall the paint is not a problem. As for the cape, anytime you take these out of the package, you have to be very careful. That cape, you don't want it to get mangled as you try to pull it through. And I was actually fairly rough on this one, and it didn't seem to hurt anything, so cape is still in good shape. As for the articulation, he actually is more articulated than I thought he would be. The head can go all the way around. We have shoulders that go up to almost 90, almost right at it, but it's because of the big pads that it can't go anymore. We can, of course, go all the way around. And then right here at the elbow, we have to where it could turn all the way around, except on this side, we have this piece of sculpting. So that means he kind of hits a snag right there. So that's about as far out as he can go, but he can go in all the way. Of course, that goes to about a 90-degree angle, and they give a little bit of clearance here with the way that they curve the sculpt to where it can still hit 90 and it doesn't get in the way that badly. There's nothing at the wrists, nothing at the waist, but we do move on to the hips, and we actually get quite a bit of range on these guys. You can see that he can do a pretty decent kick. It may not be exactly 90 degrees, but it's awfully close, and you might have noticed that they've shaved this to where it does not hit the belt, which is a very, very good move on their part. We can go out to the sides so that we can do the splits, but not quite all the way, and it's just because of these big armor panels. I don't really think Batman would do the splits any more than that anyway, even at his most gymnastic. We do have a complete swivel right here, and that's from this panel right here. And then down here at the knee, we have another swivel, and then we also get a hinge, and it can actually go fairly deep, especially considering all of that armor. So I'm actually really pleased with the articulation on this guy. Super impressive figure. And we'll have a quick look at how some of the accessories look with him. We're going to start with the turret little thing that he comes with, and I suppose it would be kind of like a kryptonite launcher. And we plug it into the back, and man, is it tight in there. But it looks really nice. Now, it's important to note that Batman's hand cannot really get to that handle, so you can kind of pantomime it a little bit, I suppose, just kind of cheat it. But it actually looks pretty cool. We can also use this big gauntlet on Batman's hand, and we can just take the peg, and it's funny because these peg in as if they were accessories more than anything, really. And it just goes in, and now Batman kind of has this gauntlet, and those are batarangs, it looks like, that are attached. So that's actually pretty cool. And the last accessory for his other gauntlet is the super glittery thing that he has, and we're going to put that in just like we did the other one. And there you go. Batman is all kitted out. He is ready to face Superman. And for a little bit of a scale comparison, we're going to take the other heavy hitter figure that they've come out with so far, the Killer Croc, and we'll just see how he stacks up against Batman height-wise. And overall, I think Batman is just a little bit taller than he is, so that's kind of funny. But I do like that because Batman's boots should boost him up just a little bit. And they are pretty even in height. Catwoman is probably just a little bit shorter than the armored Batman. And here was Batman's last iteration of his armor. It's funny because Spin Master kind of goes back to the armored Batman trope, but it's cool because it's almost like Batman has various levels of the armor that he uses. It's really neat to see these guys side by side, kind of like an evolution of Batman's arsenal. We take armored Batman and we add in the standard Batman. So you get a real kind of, step 1, 2, 3 for the kind of transformation into the armored suit. Really like that. All right, so overall, looking at armored Batman, I would say that he is actually one of the more impressive figures in the entire Cape Crusader line. He is just a really bulky figure. I think you get a lot of value, especially if you get the version that comes with the kryptonite kind of accessories, which I really like. And I think that he would go very well with any of your previous Spin Master releases. So I'm very, very pleased with him. He's actually one of my favorite Spin Master releases in a very long time, and I think collectors young and old will absolutely love this guy. So anyway, guys, I sure do appreciate you all watching. Of course, I have many other reviews here on the channel, and that includes many other Batman reviews, including the recently released Catwoman figure. So I do have a review up for that as well. And remember, we are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and we're getting so close. So we would very much appreciate your help with that. Guys, it has been an absolute pleasure. And listen, God bless you, be careful out there, and I'll see you on Fanboys Forever.